Hello, Avignon. We're back for another game of Nebulous nonsense on this fine Wednesday. Let's get that game audio turned on so you can hear the lovely main menu theme. So, we're going to check now and see if there's any public lobbies up that I can hop into. If not, then we'll just host our own. Let's see. We've got a Killboard game, but Killboard's kind of the ranked server. Not really feeling ranked right now. Looks like there's a couple other games probably in progress. If you can see there's some there. So, we're just going to host our own. Call it NekoboyBlue's Nebulous nonsense. No password. A game is open, so be here. Yeah. I'm going to be playing as ANS, and I've got a fleet that I want to try out this week. So I'm going to try a mixture of a electronic warfare frigate and probably some light cruisers with a bit of missiles and guns. So put this in here. Lobby name: NekoboyBlue's Nebulous nonsense. So if you're wanting to, come on and join in. We can have some fun together. Let's pin this here. If anyone cares to join the lobby, we will see. So I'm just going to put it a looking for group ping to a couple friends and see if they want to come by and play. Actually, you know, I can do a better map than this. Let's go to one of the modded ones I got. Tombstone sounds good. There we are. This will mix it up a little. I like Tombstone. It's one of the newer maps that I haven't gotten to play a whole lot. So we're going to see if we can't get a couple people in here. I've just sent off a ping to various people that I know, so we'll see if we get some Neb Night nonsense. Meantime, chat, just sit back, kick back, relax, all that. Just do a lot of things with back. You know, it's kind of fun to say sit back and relax. And then there's also like sit down and relax. I'm not really sure exactly which one you do. Like lean back too. Not saying I know there's a lot of back. So I'm gonna sit here eating M&Ms and wait for a lobby to fill up. Yeah. We could also play against the CPUs, but I found that the bots aren't as enjoyable as the real players. Kind of hard to match the real thing, so actually, I think that I'm going to go into the editor for a bit and try out some different stuff. So the idea of this fleet, which I'll show off in a second, is that I've got this kind of command frigate here, which is just 3 blanket jammers and a bullseye target lock. The idea being I use my spyglass to spot the enemy at, I think it's 11.5 kilometers. Yeah. Now, my guns on my gun cruisers over here, they only go out to, it says 7.5, but I think I have to look at the ammo, actually. Let's take a look, see. Yeah, so if we check the ammo, we can see that these go out to 8 kilometers. So I'll be able to see the enemy at 11.5 kilometers, but only be able to shoot them at 8, which is okay. Either way, we've got ourselves the command frigate here, which is just going to try and jam the enemy and be a big interference. Got a bunch of systems here just to facilitate that. Jammers do take a lot of power. Each of these is drawing 1,000 kilowatts each. You can see that our power system here, a lot of it being eaten up by that spyglass radar system, and then the rest of it by the blanket jammers. A little bit by the bullseye and actively cooled amplifiers to make our jammers just that much better. So that's most of where the frigates goes, or the frigate's resources go. Then we've got these nice little gun cruisers here. This is kind of the classic gun cruiser. Take a look at it from the front here. See, it's got a array of 3 guns on top and then 2 on the bottom, meaning that when this thing's forward facing, it has a lot of gun facing towards you. So very thin profile, very good firepower from these. It's got a set of defender point defense turrets on either side to shoot down big missiles like containers or torpedoes. They've also got, on the back, you can see the vertical launch system, or VLS-3. So this has a collection of 3 size 3 hybrid missiles, so I'm able to throw these at the enemy and hit them very hard, ideally. 19-point missile. This is just a standard high explosive impact, so I use these when I want to reach out and grab somebody. We can fly these for about 15.5 kilometers, so they can get around the map pretty handily and do stuff. We've also got the Spear Super Missile, which is a high-explosive kinetic penetrator. Think of this thing like essentially a rod that we want to shove down the nose of an enemy ship. It's quite expensive because we've had to include a decoy launcher to prevent turrets from shooting down these things, since, of course, we want to have the missile connect, since the high-explosive kinetic penetrator is 2 points per unit versus the high-explosive impact, which is 0.25, so literally 8 times more expensive payload. We want to make sure these hit. Anyways, these two ships are kind of clones of each other. I run them in tandem, that way they can keep pumping 10 guns worth of firepower towards the enemy and fire off a nasty missile volley. We're only able to fire, I believe it's 2 missiles at a time? Might be... we're actually able to fire 3 missiles at a time. There you go. So I would love to have more of the Heck P missiles, but unfortunately, budget is a constraint, so we're only able to bring so much stuff. We could try shuffling around some point cost, but I think that the way it's currently set up is probably for our best intentions. Yeah. See, we got a couple more people joining in now. So, with that said, I'm pretty happy with the pair of ships I've got here. I did never look at these names. The 8 of Bendite and the Valid Water, along with the Stays and Apron. Huh. This is, of course, auto-generated names. There's a extensive list that you can see the game picks from. So, for example, we go through here. We can see all these different patterns we can pick from. Just select all these. Get some funny ones. Scar Mary, Bravo and Rake, Soggy Pub. Ugh. But either way, let's just go with what we got for right now. We can see we've got a couple people joining in now. So the plan is to go for a OSP versus ANS matchup. Nice little asymmetrical faction warfare, and we're going to see where that takes us. Yeah. Currently just waiting for the lobby to fill up, but that's to be expected. Sometimes it takes a little bit for Neb lobbies to come together. But, well, certain games will filter through, and we'll go through what we got. Yeah. Gonna wiggle myself around and check the various people that I sent out a ping to for Nebulous nonsense. It's a bit of a silly game sometimes, but it's also quite a fun one, so let's see. Alright, a couple of responses, so some people coming along. In the meantime, we've just got a couple other fleets that we can look through. So, I believe last week I showed off it was this Axford Intel fleet that we were trying to play. Ooh. Need to go into the editor to select that, not just the select menu here, so if we take a look, we can also try this one, which similar idea to the light cruiser fleet we were just looking at. Got an Axford with its big 450mm guns facing forwards. Nice little bullseye fire control radar on the front. Then the healthy array of point defense around this thing. I quite like the Axford for its point defense coverage. The only area that's a little bit weak is from below here, because the bottom-most defender does not cover here, unfortunately. But that can be, well, as long as you keep your ship relatively positioned, kind of like a slight angle. If an incoming container strike comes from below, you can always like sort of roll a little bit. This way the topside hemisphere guns are able to cover things. I like the doubling up of the Stonewall flak turrets on the sides, because I find that they are very effective at shooting down incoming missile and rocket strikes. The rest of the ship is kind of self-explanatory. We've got our big drives in the back. In this case, I elected for a big Dragonfly, a small Whiplash, and a Raider drive. This gives us a healthy little thrust profile, kind of looking like this. So we got a bit of boost to our top speed. There's a bit higher chance of flank damage happening to us, but 6.81%, I'm okay with that. Linear thrust is increased by 30% thanks to the Raider drive. This means we'll be able to stop and start a lot faster, which is very important because this is a very big, heavy ship, and moving it around is a little bit difficult. Anyways, takes us about 15 seconds to get up to speed, which is pretty quick. Nice little other buffs there. Power is very tight, so if we do end up taking a hit to one of our 2 reactors here, very small ones looking at it from the top, then we could be in a bit of trouble, but that will just mean that the less essential systems will shut down, like our ammo elevators and whatnot. And our point defense system, well, it only draws power when it's being used, so we can rely on this thing to be okay most of the time. The most important thing being that we keep the radar and the guns online, and we should be able to do that handily. A little bit of damage control teams tucked away into the ship. We've got double command and control centers, so if one of these goes down, then the ship is still able to stay active with just one of them. So, little gun plotting center and damage control center in the front here. Just enough to keep us a little bit tougher, and most importantly, we have the intelligence center. Hang on, I'm gonna sneeze. The Intel Center is important because this analyzes a lot of tracks nearby. You can see it gives us an intelligence effort of 15, which is quite good. Oop, bit of chat going on here. See them talking about a bunch of updates and stuff for conquests and supposedly carriers at some point, but that's a bit off in the future. So either way, looking forward to the later updates in this game. The ANS versus OSP patch was quite cool as we got the new faction, the OSP, and I've been having a lot of fun playing them, even though we're looking at ANS right now. So I might do a couple OSP games later. Depends how long I end up streaming for. Anyways, escorting our command ship, the Axe Collector, we have the little pygmy here, a beam destroyer with a nice little beam in the nose, and then just a couple of little bits and bobs scattered around it. Reinforced command and control, some large lockers for damage control, along with a rapid just to get a fast-moving team. Pretty simple of a ship. It's just got some stonewall flak guns on the sides, pair of defenders on the top and bottom to provide that kinetic PD to go along with the flak. Big old dragonfly drive to make it turn on a dime, and a big reactor to facilitate it running 1 and 2 focused particle projectors. These are used because they increase our beam damage by 48%. Big number. So the beam on this thing must be respected, and it plays as the sort of little escort to go along with my big command ship. It's a weapon system that I enjoy because it keeps the enemy from getting too close to you, which the Axford can struggle with, because an Axford, like from the front, as is the case with many ANS ships, is a fairly thin profile, but from the sides, it's a much larger target, and there's a greater risk of being attacked from the side and losing your important systems like your drive or your missile backpack. So we're trying to keep that around. Lastly, we've just got a little scout ship here, the Sprinter Corvette it was, yes. So this has a spyglass radar system inside of it, which is able to see, again, like we saw, out to 11.5 kilometers. The idea of this ship is to go ahead of our fleet with the fast whiplash drive, propelling it 20% faster. This lets the ship get up ahead and then scout at the enemy, ideally. So these are two of the fleets that I've been kind of working on. Let's take a look at something on the OSP side. So there's plenty of different fleets that I wanted to try out. We've got the classic kind of broadside fleet here. Let's go with broadside 254. The idea behind this fleet is that we use the broadside of it to propel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 250mm guns into the enemy. They have a good autoloader capacity of, I believe, 15, so we're able to spew a lot of bullet very fast with that. Lastly, the fleet, these are all more or less duplicates of each other. They've just got the kind of standard complement you would expect for something like this. You can see damage control centrals, workshops, reinforced CICs, and a bunch of damage control lockers. Just stuff to keep the ship alive, as it is a very big target from the side. Noticing here, if you were trying to shoot at this, you would have a much easier time since, well, compared to like an Axford, whose profile is like this, the liners, or bulk freighters rather, they have a much larger target profile. But it also depends whether people actually end up hitting something important or not. They have a healthy amount of empty space in them, which sometimes is the best way to tank through stuff because, well, if the enemy hits you but doesn't actually hit anything important, did they really hit you? Anyways, and lastly, we've just got our little scout ship here, kind of like we saw on that Sprinter. So it's one of the other fleets we might end up running. It entirely depends. I think I'm going to do one ANS game, then one OSP game, and then see where it takes us from there. Got a couple different fleets here. This is the Swiss named because, well, I think it's cheesy and Swiss type of cheese. Yeah. So we got a whole array of rocket shuttles. I wouldn't recommend running this fleet because it is very unfun to play and unfun to play against. But I have it just in my back pocket in case somebody's being a butt and I want to just, be annoying. So same with the Thug Tugs, the various tugs here, equipped with a variety of weapon systems, 250mm nose guns, and then a multi-launch system 2, able to launch 1, 2, 3, 4 size 2 missiles. Then just a healthy array of PD. Gonna sneeze again, hang on. I don't know why I'm so sneezy today, but I'm gonna take a big sip of water and then see if the lobby is full. Gotta go back to my planned fleet. Yeah, fast attack. Alright. So as you can see, lobby is filled up nicely. We're just waiting for one more player now. So if any of you want to get in, now's your chance. It's going for a kind of mixed bag of players here. We've got one sort of newer player by the name of Hatchery, I think? Hatchery? I'm going to call him Hatchery. That sounds about right. We got just a couple other names here. Various Commodores showing their numbers, but... Let's see, what are they talking about here? Missile boats, hybrids, bunch of games won. Oh, good to hear them playing. We've got ourselves a battleship here. Ah, full cannon battleship. Nice to see that. Auroras and Stonewalls. Interesting. Auroras are pretty good point defense, but sometimes they can burn themselves out, which makes them a little bit riskier. So Just gives you, well, it's a weapon system that's very good up until it isn't, which, well, it's more or less used to ward off hybrid missiles, which the OSP doesn't really have. Typically, you want a mix of defenders and then some form of flak, but Auroras can be quite good, assuming you have the power for them. They are laser weaponry, of course, taking a lot of power. See, joining them, a little bit of a sort of escort fleet here. Yep, just radar jamming and target lock along with some extra flak. Good choice. See Papa J coming in with a, it's a fleet of 3 gun light cruisers. Very cheap because they're able to manage to squeak out a electronic warfare corvette with them. So that's an interesting idea. Yeah. Bare bones minimalism. I like it. Gonna show what I got here. I got Girds with a single keystone running a lot of missiles. Oh boy, that's gonna be quite exciting. So just waiting for one more. I'm gonna say the magic words. Anyone got a 6K? For anyone who doesn't know, this tends to summon a final player, because normally people would be, oh, well, I've got a 6K, and then I can swap over, and then the 8th player suddenly joins the lobby, so we'll just hope on that. I'm not the most fond of single missile command ship. I think that single missile ship, it's kind of limiting your amount of missiles you can put into play at once because programming channels are a thing. You can make your destroyers fire very fast with a lot of strike planning centers, but again, you're still limiting yourself to just one ship. I think that going just one ship is, it's not great. I've seen some games where you can go like a single battleship and kind of get away with it, but it's still a little bit risky. And I think that most of the time, if you're doing a missile fleet, you're probably better suited with going with a bunch of small frigates and stuff. That said, I do have a fleet that is a pair of destroyers that run missiles, and I do quite like that, so, oh well. If my teammates know how to play and they can do their stuff, I am not going to complain. Because, you know, it's a game. You can express your creativity and do a bunch of your different stuff. I'm going to just tell them to ready up, since we've got our final player here now. And then hopefully we'll get a good match on our hands. Yeah. Just waiting for them to load the map, most likely. So shouldn't take us more than another minute. Thank you for being patient, chat. Let's get into some nebulous nonsense, as it were. I think they're just probably deciding on fleet composition. Oh, there they go. They've loaded the map, and let's see them go. Yeah. We're going to be trying to punch down on enemy ships with our guns, since we're much more effective against smaller targets than large. If we wanted to hunt down the big enemy ships, such as the bulk freighters or the Ocello command cruisers, then we should probably have brought 450, but that doesn't fit on our light cruisers, so. Instead, we're going to be looking for shuttles and tugs and anything else small that we can pick off, and then maybe if a big ship comes towards us, we'll throw all the jamming we have at it, and then hit it with a bunch of the high-explosive kinetic penetrators. Because that way we should hopefully be able to put a bop on its nose. Alright. So, we'll just deploy in and see where the game takes us. I like Tombstones a lot as a map. It's a kind of newer one, so it's still unexplored, and people, unlike some of the more popular maps like, say, Pillars or Arroyo that have been around for a little bit now, it's still very new, and people haven't figured out exactly how to play it, so it gives you that kind of creative angling and other interesting spacing that you can take on it. I hope that more servers added to the list, but... Oh, hey, Platinum Egg, nice to see you dropping by. You can't stay, but I want to say hello. Hello! Alright, so... I think that we're going to deploy... we could try and push a wide right flank here, jumping between cover, which I kind of like the sounds of. C and B point are the naturals for our side. We can see the A point here, underside of its little rock hat. We got the D and E points, so... I think that we're going to deploy on the right side and try and push from there, so... Alright, let's go with that. I'm going to commit to my deployment there. So you can see my teammates discussing which map, well, the similarities to Pillars, which is, again, the Dust 2 of Nebulous. Seeing one of our companions here deploying onto the C point. So they try and get C and stop the A caps. Cap B and go down to A. Alright. So they're planning on capping this point and then heading downwards, kind of through the middle of the map, probably taking cover on these rocks here. My plan is to flank around the outside as best I can, so I'm actually going to cancel my immediate deployed plan. Try and deploy a little bit lower. This way I can sweep around here and hopefully tuck into these rocks here and get good rotations can kind of see a groove cut through there that I'm going to go with that. Yeah. So, a lot of fighting going to happen over the A point, but I should be able to get a good crossfire. All right. Let's do it, chat. So you can see our pair of light cruisers coming in now. The 8 of Bendite coming in first. You can see my lovely face on the side of it. Yeah. All right. We're going to select our EWAR frigate and then order it to proceed ahead. Then we're having the light cruisers follow behind. In this case, we're going to set our formation to loose formation. That way we can just maneuver freely. Setting this cruiser to go kind of behind the other one. About a 400-meter gap should be good. Furthermore, we're going to set the heading to be roughly towards the enemy. We're expecting them kind of to be towards the middle, so we'll just preemptively set that. Actually, I'm going to change the elevation here. Have them aligned below instead of behind. There we go. So, send out the electronic warfare scout first and foremost. You can see the mighty missile destroyer here kind of doing its thing. Big old radar antenna on the back of it. A little hard to see with the backdrop, actually, as it's a very dark color, contrasting with the stars.
At the ready, Commander.
We're just going to be moving about. We can see the other fleet here deploying in. But
standing by.
All right. See the mighty battleship here, the CHS Celestine. Got a big old whack of cannons on this thing. A very nasty broadside, although you don't always want to present the broadside. If you present just the forwards half of your ship, you're able to bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 barrels to play and only have a thin target profile. Still, if you bring it a broadside, you can get 11 more shots onto the... Or you can get 11 barrels onto target, rather.
Send your traffic.
Words are failing me. So. You're seeing them now discussing the map. It is, of course, a lesser played map, so we're going to be enjoying it while we can. This is the kind of tactical view that I spend a lot of my time in, but we can also see in real space how the map looks. Very much a sort of dark gray asteroid field. So we'll see our friends here in the... I don't remember what prefix this is, but the DRN fleet here. They've got their triple gun light cruisers. In this case, they've elected for antennas on the back, just in case their primary antenna gets knocked out. Not a bad idea. So they've got a bit more firepower than I do with those light cruisers, because of course they have 3 light cruisers to my 2, but... We're just going to keep moving ourselves along here. Gonna move up here.
Commander.
So we're getting ourselves kind of into cover. Then proceed down and along, like so.
We're on our way.
That should work pretty well. Maybe that's actually a little bit high up. Let's go more direct. Yeah.
We're underway,
All right.
Commander.
Electronic warfare en route. We've got a size 1 missile scout here. It's kind of cool seeing this thing zooming around looking for anything that might be on point E. It's also a way to check for the enemy's point defense. If we see the point defense fire, we'll know there's a ship. Yep, just like that. See the size 1 scout missile here locking on and burning that target. Unfortunately, the flak guns do kill it, so no hits, but, well, to be expected. Just a scout missile, as it were. Size 1 missiles are dirt cheap. I think these things cost like 2 points out of your 3,000, so very effective just to get the knowledge of where the enemy is. 2 points is, again, next to nothing. Gonna move our electronic warfare ship down as well with our fleet.
What can we do for you, Commander?
Just gonna confirm that call out they made. Alright, so we see the hefty taunt here has missiles on the nose, the sides, top, and bottom. So it's got a bunch of size 2 missiles by the looks of it, only 1 bank of size 3s. Yep. So I normally prefer size 3 hybrid missiles. I just find that they tend to work better for me, but size 2s have their own merit. Just they are a little more fragile. Still, you can fit a lot more of them.
Go ahead, Command.
Each has their own respective benefits.
Aye, aye. Full power.
Going to align ourselves heading towards the enemy now, since we expect them to kind of be over
Aye, aye,
here-ish.
Commander.
Gonna then set us here. Ah, excellent.
Understood.
Target
We're en
acquired.
route.
Going to initiate top
Commencing
jamming. There we are.
electronic fires.
What
So,
can we do for you,
the enemy has
Commander?
seen us now, which is a bit of a issue. So we're just going to align our headings like so.
We'll get
and
it
yeah.
done, Commander.
Then we're going to fire a test volley here.
Being jammed. Scopes out.
And that should be good.
Aye, aye, Commander.
We'll just fire off a
Firing
test volley of
missile.
missiles at them to see
Send your
just
traffic.
what they got. And then I'm going to fire all of my jammers as well.
Buzzers
that.
on.
Should blind them thoroughly. Yep. So we know they don't have a early warning radar system. Otherwise, that would not work. Yeah.
Aye, aye. Full power.
Gonna see our missiles coming out here. The crayon-looking things called wingers. Firing off, aligning on target, and then zooming. So hopefully we'll be able to get a good hit on whatever that is.
At the ready, Commander. Commander.
I'm going to cancel firing the bottom jammer since I think I only will need 2 of them right now. Yes, there we are.
Standing by.
So we're going to go ahead and see what there is out here. Hopefully yep, there we go. See a array of the enemy fleets. We're going to lock on to whatever we see first. Could probably make these cheaper. I don't need this much search range, I don't think, but same time, very nice to have. Yep, we get a confirmed lock on here. Seen them fly by, and that is a tugboat that is wham! Hit! Good hit if I ever saw one. Wham! Another hit on this monitor. Oh, okay. They have a emitter on the front for radar projection, and then a pack of
Got you
missiles.
5 by 5.
So we are going to just do that again because that worked really well.
Commander?
Yeah. You know, when you got missiles, use them. Boop, boop.
Initiating.
Because I know that those are
missile
missile ships, we are going to fire a good old volley at them. Oop, we see enemies below us here, so we're going to have to adjust to hit them.
launch. Understood. We're en route.
Copy that. Moving.
Of course, keeping the jammers online
What can we
on
do
target
for you,
is
Commander?
important. So,
Got you 5 by 5.
see if we can't lock onto one of these,
What can we do
and
for
then
you,
fire
Commander?
high explosives.
Initiating
Uh-oh.
attack.
Believe that they have seen us. That's not good. We're going to order the bottom jammer to fire on that one as well. This should blind the enemy, which it has. Cool.
Screw with the sensors,
Seen a whole
Commander.
bunch of missile strikes over here. Oop.
We're being jammed.
And order them to fire on that vector, like so.
We're ready when you are, Commander.
And we're going to come around the corner and hopefully burn through their jamming.
Standing by.
Dialing in jammed.
Oop. Unfortunately, not able to see them too well, but
Order received. Engaging now.
Go ahead, Command.
in this case, we're going to pull back a little bit because the enemy is being rather annoying. Yeah.
Acquiring firing solution.
Fire high explosive RPF rounds. Trying to get ourselves the best bearing we can. Oop, that's a lot of firepower. Okay, we're definitely going to need to get out of here now.
We're underway, Commander.
Order the battle shorting of our turrets here. Oh, this is going to hurt a lot.
What can we
That
do
is a
for you,
tug swarm
Commander?
if I ever saw one.
How can we help today, Commander?
And hope in our point defense's strength, firing every round we can in RPF.
Opponent disabled.
Go.
Got you 5
Seeing
by
them all
5.
going after our jamming, which means we're going to cease fire at the last second and try and evade.
E-war detected.
Oh, unfortunately, nope. Our EWAR is going to go down here, but
Ship.
fortunately taking a couple of hits here, but we'll have to restore what we can. Ordering the effective immediately repairs. And order targets locked as well. We can see our allies engaging here, so we just need to get out of here. Uh-oh. We might be getting a flank shot here. Yes, we appear to be. Oh. This is going to end rather painfully, I think. See a bunch of missiles being pathed around us here. Seems that they brought a lot of missiles today. How annoying.
Moving out.
I'm burning. Uh-oh. This is going to be rather interesting in a second here. So, see a bunch of their missile strike fortunately missed us. So, whew, that was a little bit close one. To continue firing what we got. In this case, switching over to high explosives. So, that was 2 fleets at once, which was not what we wanted to be fighting. But we survived. If only barely. I'm pretty sure my missile strike worked well against their missile monitors over there, but I'm still going to have to get out of this firing arc, because that is a lot of ship that is not what we want to be facing. I think if I go over the top of the rock, I should be able to get some of them. So we'll just adjust our systems like so. Yeah.
Falling in.
Yeah. So I did unfortunately lose my frigate, which I'm a little upset about because I did like that frigate. Luckily, it's not going critical, so we should be okay. I'm expecting another missile volley strike, so we're just going to burn upwards as fast as possible here. Seeing more of their missiles coming in. We're firing RPF rounds to try and shoot down some of them. Mild effects on targets. We're going to clear our ship's roll order since we lost a track on the enemy. Let's see. That locker doesn't need to be fixed anymore, so that's fine. We need the large locker. Yes, that would be quite good. Dang it. I was hoping that we wouldn't lose that large locker. That's all of our restorers reserves.
Standing by, Commander.
Still able to get a couple shots here.
Engaging now. Targeting hostile.
And fire what we can on the target.
Engaging the enemy.
In this case, just a bunch of cheap size 2 missiles coming at us. Our defenders should be able to hit these.
Holding fire.
Yep. Maybe.
Awaiting
Mayhaps.
orders.
For a chance. I believe that these ships are
Standing by,
dead,
Commander.
so we're just going to cease fire. And cancel our flank. All right, let's get up onto some rocks here then, shall we?
Plotted.
So, I'm expecting these both to be pretty
Standing
dead.
by, Commander.
Let's see if we can't find out. Yep, this ship I'm going to mark as killed. I can hear the alarms going off for it. So, luckily, our friends in the light cruisers over here have been helping.
Tell us what to do, Commander.
See the cargo feeders over here. I'm pretty sure I whacked those really well with missiles earlier,
Missile
but
launch detected. Negative.
on the off
Out
chance
of
that we
range.
didn't... Uh-oh. This could be interesting.
Copy that. We're en route. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Going to cancel our radars here in case those are advanced radar seeking. Uh-oh. This is going to hurt. Ow, 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 ow.
Hostile fire inbound.
Ow, 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 ow. No! Okay, we are not dead yet, luckily, but our ship is still heavily crippled, so we're going to head towards the enemy there, since I think that's the last of their missile strikes. Unfortunately, we are heavily bleeding out ships.
Standing by.
Yeah, it's hard to deal with all of the missiles that are coming towards me when I have only, like, 2 ships left, including my EWAR kind of going down. So, just gonna see what I can do. They have quite a lot of missiles, though, which I'm surprised by, because I thought I'd taken out those 2 missile feeders very early on, but apparently not. Ship attempting to go critical, but we should be able to shut it down in time, so... The ship is still alive, although heavily damaged. Luckily, with the Citadel CIC, they can't actually kill me, although they can try. So,
Course laid in.
and going to turn on the radars here, and then fire a missile strike on you,
Launching missiles.
and on you.
Missile tube
Fire.
clear. Ready.
You're then going to lock onto you, and hopefully shoot that down, whatever it is.
Moving to that position.
Should see this restored soon, I think. Well, we're going to see if this thing goes kablooey or not. We have 10 seconds to fix it.
Standing by. Enemy jammer.
Fire everything. Uh-oh. I might be out of this game.
Moving.
Maybe. This is going to hurt either way we cut it. Ooh, most of them missed. Excellent. So, luckily, a bunch of them were going after a dead ship,
Awaiting orders.
which is good for us.
Enemy jammer. The enemy has commenced jamming.
Trying to lock onto them, but not getting a good target, unfortunately. Jammers
Target
being
locked.
rather annoying. I fire RPF as best we can. I don't know if I got a hit on this ship or not, but I think those are the ones that have been spewing missiles at me for now, so we're going to just rush towards them. See them? Yep, unfortunately, a fuel line fire goes off here, so we did end up losing some of our stuff, but I don't think that we're... Uh-oh, our reactor is overloading. Okay, we might not be long for this world. We're going to find out.
Gaining fire control solution.
There's the shuttle, fire for effect. Ow.
Destroyed.
Ow, 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 ow. Ah.
Module lost.
So unfortunately, missiles came around from the backside there. Let's see if we can't get our radar fixed wherever it is. Actually, we've just lost all of our radar panels, so that's not good. And we have no restorers left. Yay, wonderful. We are finding new and interesting, wonderful ways to blow up. So we're just going to have to get within visual range of them to hit them now. I may have overextended solo here. This is probably not the best move for me to take, since a coordinated missile strike from 2 fleets really crippled me. But, that said, my ships are still active, so I'm going to try and order what movement I can.
Internal damage. Go ahead. Power level.
Ow, 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 ow. So, again, annoyingly, we're getting hit by a bunch of stuff here, but we are holding out as resiliently as possible. So, luckily, again, with our big drives and our special CIC Citadel, they cannot actually kill us with missile strikes. They need more stuff than that.
We're ready, Commander.
That said, we are having to, shut some stuff down. We might be exploding here in a second. Yep. So, unfortunately, they did inflict enough critical damage that we went kablooey. So, not the greatest showing of the light cruisers, as it were. I still have to do some work on these, and also not lose my electronic warfare ship at the very start, which was a bit of an issue. See them now kind of just firing off everything every random which way, because they lost their targeting thanks to the big old reactor bloom. So, there we go. Just making sure that we don't get a fuel line fire here. So ideally putting that out first. Our ships are heavily crippled, but still our allies should be doing stuff. We can see the mighty battleship pushing up here, although it is taking a pounding if I ever saw one. See our light cruisers trying to get whatever firing arcs they can, and our missile support ship trying to do its job, though having a little bit of difficulty since our track quality is not the greatest, so lining up shots can be a bit difficult in that case. We might end up cooking off here, but we are holding out as best we can. Do one, and... Yep. Unfortunately, we see the fuel lines go off. However, we're still not dead. we're just hurt. As long as we can keep the Whiplash drive online, we should be okay. Let's order the priorities going to the Citadel and the Whiplash here, and hope that we don't die from random little firing. So, fortunately, one of our players is out of the game. Looks like the battleship here got killed, unfortunately. We are ahead on points for the moment, so we'll just have to see if we can hold that or not. Might take the time to play this out.
Get us moving.
So now we are active once again. Unfortunately, we don't really have much that we can do, so we're just going to try and keep fixing the centers that we have, and then make for the E point. So we are a skeleton zombie of a ship, which means, well, we don't really have much more we can do, but we can contest a point and draw the enemy away for now. Yeah, facing a missile fleet like that is not exactly what I'm supposed to do with a fleet like this. The defender turrets are mainly good against big missiles like torpedoes and the, what are they called? That's a dead ship. I would mark that dead if I could, but it's mainly good against torpedoes and containers. Unfortunately, we face neither of them. Little ship here with a electronic warfare system on top. Nice little, I think it's a Learbird? I can't remember how it's pronounced, but got a bird jammer and a little flak gun. If we hadn't lost our electronic warfare frigate, I think we would be in a much better spot, but fortunately we did. In hindsight, I should have fired the high explosive kinetic penetrators at these ships much sooner, but, well, live and don't learn, right? Yeah. I think they should be pretty low on missiles, because they expended quite a lot hitting us, but we're just going to keep ourselves alive here, always repairing the two essential systems that they can't quite knock out with their guns. They just don't have enough damage to break them. We might still lose them because we go critical, but with any luck, we just keep repairing and stay in the game. Just heading here and then move as best we can. Oop. Well, I tried to move there. Fortunately, things not going well. So you can see the light cruiser swarm here moving about, trying to kill off the tugs as best they can. The liver holy, as it were, here. Power is offline. You can tell by the orange lights. I think this ship might be dead. Well, that was definitely a reactor cook-off there. All right. We're just going to survive here and do what we can. Turning off the flank because we don't want to accidentally burn ourselves out. Of course, constantly getting peppered, so as soon as we fix something, they just knock it right out again. But they can't kill us, which means they're occupied. So we take what silver linings we can for a admittedly very one-sided game that we just got put into. See our allies, though, doing the best they can with what they got. See, 1, 2 tugboats as well. Is this another? Yeah, it's another tugboat there. This one looking fairly damaged from a friendly missile strike, so.
Ready.
We're just going to watch a bunch of size 2 missiles going around. I might play a missile fleet again tonight, so we'll see. I am quite proud that I took out at least 1 or 2 ships, even though I did kind of, get 2v1'd. I think pushing along this way was a little too aggressive because I oriented myself facing forwards one way, and then the other way I got struck from, so I should have just held back a little bit and not pushed as aggressively. Although I did see enemy ships in the open, I thought that I could take that fight, so we'll see. Continuing to be a nuisance here as I adjust my course and heading down, and hopefully we'll be able to take a couple of these guys with me. At the very least, I'm occupying them, which I'm pretty happy about, so, yeah. They still can't kill off of my essential systems. They just don't have the firepower. I think they need 450mm guns or a direct hit on my systems. So, we're just going to burn at best speed down there. Yeah. See a couple of fires being put out in the destroyed components. Most of the ship is gone. However, the Citadel lets me stay in the game, which is quite nice, because even though they are firing all of their missiles at me, they still will not be able to kill me. Watch this. Bam, 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 bam. So, again, annoyingly, stuff knocked offline, reactors overloading, but we can handle it. We'll just send our damage control teams in. They will fix things, hopefully. Though we do get a fire and atmosphere leak. Well, those should cancel each other out, right? I mean, if there's no atmosphere, there can't be fire. Just have 2 minutes to fix the reactor as it overloads, and then we should be okay. They're still wasting a bunch of their time on me instead of going after other ships, which means I'm pretty happy with how that's going to go. Yeah. See the tug here, getting a little bit of the business given to it. It's currently inoperative, but still, the mixture of 250 and Actually, do these? No, these don't have missiles. They're just 250, so they're doing their work as best they can. See a big volley of missiles coming in here. The counter to this is flak, and I just didn't bring very much flak, if, you know, any. I just was relying on electronic warfare and some RPF rounds, which may be to my peril, but we'll see how our allies hold up against them. See a mixture of the kinetic and flak point defense going off there. Very much countering these size 2 missile volleys. I don't typically get hit by size 2 missile volleys, so I didn't think to counter it. Unfortunately, in this case, finally something with big guns, a bulk freighter from over here, actually ends up killing us, so... Give me an old 007 saying I'm out of the fight. They did get us good there, so still we've occupied a bunch of these enemies' time, and we are still ahead on the points, so now it's just a matter of seeing what our remaining fleets can do. See the hefty taunt here going after one of these tugboats. I believe they have short-range missiles left, so they might be able to get a couple strikes out. And we see, again, another missile volley coming out of these feeders. I don't think they should have much ammo left in them, but it's also hard to say. We see the best point defense in the game here being rock, so... Semi-active. Can barely get a read on what those are. I think that those were semi-active homing in ARADs, but... Oh. Well, there goes one of our ships again, blinding the enemy and hopefully cooking a bit of their paint. Yeah. Now it's just a case of playing cleanup. Oh, what are those? That is a home on jam, semi-active home. Okay, so... It's interesting combo there. Very cheap missile seekers. I believe the semi-active homing... or the SAH is the one that goes after the Illuminators, and those are next to free. They might actually be free, I'm not sure. Huh. You're a cat girl now, Uwu Ocello. See. We can watch as it launches a couple of its missiles, but it's taking a bunch of hits to the side. Or maybe it's on the nose. Kind of hard to say without getting a visual, but I think that might be on the nose. See a bunch of missiles flying off here, little size 2 thunderheads going after our missile ship here. This might spell peril for it, as I don't believe it has any point defense to shoot these down. No, this is not good for our destroyer's extended survival. Wham, wham, and wham. Still technically in the game, so they're not dead yet. They're just heavily crippled. I don't believe that their drive would have survived that. Yeah, it looks like their engines are out. Unfortunate. Seeing the Ocello here taking a bit of a beating from our light cruisers. I feel a little awkward playing light cruisers because I feel like they're pretty good at, like, in their intended role, but just it's kind of awkward playing them in their intended role right now because you get hit by certain things like this, and well, you can only pick so much stuff to counter. So still, there's a couple buffs on the horizon along with a few nerfs, which should make them a little healthier in the game. So if we can just drag this out for another little bit, we should be able to get a easy win, hopefully. As of course relying on the enemy not capping another point, although we are ahead by 200, only about 100 points actually. Let's just watch as the fleet goes and does its stuff. You see the hefty taunt here still alive, although it was crippled. Enemy fleet, well, the enemies played well. They positioned high, our battleship charged in, and unfortunately got the business from a lot of stuff by the looks of it, so... Yeah, I think that the name of the game was us playing overly aggressive and overextending on this side, and on the left, I should have stacked up with my battleship if I'd known that they were going to go right for that D side push, but hindsight, 2020 and all that, even though nobody predicted 2020. Yeah. Gonna take a big sip of water now. See a ship way up high. I call out this ship since it appears to be going after our B cap. We can see if our allied fleet can engage on it. You can see them giving fire orders now and a bunch of rounds coming up high. RPF does pretty well against the tugs since they have only light armor. I think it's only like 5 centimeters and RPF can go through that. Bam, 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 bam. With any luck, the ship, yep, it gets repaired here, so they might be able to sit on a point. Watching as the tugboat here, peppered by RPF, turning it into glorified Swiss cheese if we look at the outside. Ideally, you get a target lock, but in this case, probably proving to be difficult. Seeing the 450 coming off that bulk freighter as these ships are maneuvering around. Them trying to reposition and engage accordingly. Bunch of missiles flying in as well from that bulk freighter. Bulk freighters are very nasty when broadside, but at the same time, they take a lot of damage when they're facing broadside, so it is a bit of a balancing factor. See, the small missile strike here should be shot down handily. Ooh, actually, some of those got through. Oof, nasty. Jamming, not making it as easy. Still, we're protecting our point as best we can here. If the enemy gets another cap point, it might be decided, but for right now, it looks like we're defending the A, C, and B points effectively. Watch as one last ship here is now split off and going towards the E point, or at least trying to. It appears to be... stuck in space for a second there. Interesting. Either way, we're going to watch as the last of the ships kind of square off against each other. Light cruiser is more than a match for a meeker tugboat, but the question is, are they going to be able to fight only one tugboat, or are they going to be suppressed by the bulk freighter we saw firing earlier from the other side over on the D point? So. Again, OSP has a bit of advantage in the fact that they're... Well, it's a lot easier for OSP to take a small ship to backcap with. The Clipper vessel only costs, I think it's like 75 points for the hull, compared to the Sprinter, which is more like 100, so it is a lot cheaper for the OSP to bring many small ships to backcap. Very handy in the late game when they are trying to do just that. We saw there was a Ocello somewhere around... I don't actually know where that Ocello went. I think it was roughly in this direction, although we're not seeing it now. Oh, there it is. As Ocello slowly going along its way, trying to get to the B point. Call that out. 5792 going B. So, still a very close game. Even if we lose all of our ships, we can win this on points. Well, we have to have at least one effective ship in the game with weapons. Otherwise, they consider us disarmed and not really a threat. But see the bulk freighters while trying to fire shots in. The front of the ship is able to take a good chunk of hits here, although it is still 450mm fire. You don't want to be sitting there in that line of fire. The ship quickly stopping and then coming about as it tries to align itself against those. Nasty missile volley inbound as well, so double whammy here. They have a lot of size 2 missiles this game, which was exactly what I didn't want them to have because that kind of counters my stuff. Bang, 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 bang. Rather unfortunate. Still trying to contest what we can. Going for the A point here as well with the Eleanor from Papa J. Got a cargo feeder here, I think. No, this was not the one we did a number on. We did a number on at least 2 of them, but looks like after that, it kind of turned into a, well, bit of a toss-up as we got ourselves whacked. I should have fired my Heck Peas against the cargo feeders when I saw their missile launchers, but I didn't think ahead in time to do that. So, oh well. I'm allowed 1 thought per week, and I've unfortunately wasted it on going, hey, pew-pew, so. See our friendly ships here now capping the E point. Maybe a missile strike coming after them. Bit of a interesting toss-up with the contested points here, but we are still ahead by almost 200 points, so we might be able to win this on the cap. Papa J carrying us right now, trying to hold the A point with what limited firepower he has. See the feeder here, most likely out of missiles, as it has not fired anything, and just kind of taking a pounding here. We still hold the A point, despite them contesting it. They're taking the B point up here, although we are taking the E point in exchange, so still maintaining our 3-2 advantage. Oh, there's those missiles I thought might be coming this way. So, luckily, though, the E cap is still being captured here. The light cruiser able to stay on the point with what little health it has left, because missiles, they do be hurting. Maybe I'll play a missile strike fleet after this. I do enjoy missiles, although I'm not the best missile player. So, bit of a toss-up there as we get the E point. So, still have a slight advantage for now. And we see Zone A is now under our control. Enemy is ejecting their stuff here. Looked like they tried firing some missiles, but I think they got shot down. So, yep. We've gotten the A point since the ship here is apparently unarmed now. So, nice to see as our ship here is armed. Able to give us the point. Pew, 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 goes them. Tell me about it. Yeah. So their missile strikes, they were hitting us very hard, but fortunately they did not have enough missiles to kill off the entire fleet. So Papa J really carrying us here with this late game fleet of backcappers and whatnot. 842 to 632 points, going for that 1,000-point win. You can see what's that little shuttle ship coming in now, trying to cap. So, all right. Ad break starting in 20 minutes. I don't think so, Twitch. I put that on snooze, thank you. Let's see the end of this game. Again, hindsight 2020 as we reminisce about the things that have given us remorse. So, watching as the various ships split off and try and go after the points here. You can see, that as the bulk freighter from earlier, trying to get a angle on our ship on the A point. So, still, we just need to hold this advantage for a little bit longer. Saragon here is still technically in the fight, although it is crippled. I'm going to see if it has any working guns left. Assuming it does have some restorers and stuff, it might be able to contest it. It's gonna be close. So, we have only got 2 points from that, but we might also lose the A point in a second, as long as we can contest. Gonna tell him to contest as long as he can, because we need to hold this against that bulk freighter. Spin around the bulker. Yes. Because the bulker, its guns are only on one side. Tell him to get. The bulk freighter can only rotate so fast, and as long as he keeps his heading towards them. Oop, that's a missile strike. Luckily, the missiles are moving slow, and he has flak guns at the ready, I think. We'll see. Oop. That's a double missile volley from stuff. Alright, so that's going to be a little bit interesting. Luckily, though, light cruiser mobility coming in clutch here as he maneuvers around. So, good stuff. We're holding a 2 to 3 point lead. Well, we're holding a points advantage in terms of actual caps, kind of up in the air. I'm going to ask if the Saragon here can get E point or not. Might be able to, although we see they're also very busy trying to fight this bulk freighter. Up close, it's a bit of a knife fight. The casemate guns here, not as good as turrets in the sort of close range there, but... So, we should be able to get D. This will get us the 3 point advantage, and we should be able to come in clutch, even though the enemy did end up living with more stuff. They gave up a bit of point control, so that comes to bite them in the end. You can win the battle, but lose the war, as it were. See, here, yeah, this is what I was talking about, because the casemate guns, they can only elevate and depress so far in this case. Well, I suppose normally you'd look at the ship sideways, or with it being horizontal. Now it's upwards and down. Yeah. The light cruiser here, just kind of holding on, getting into the arc where it can't fire on us, and we should be able to get the cap points. I'm going to say, for real, coming in with the W, or whatever the Zoomer crowd says. To tell you the truth, I have no idea. I'm old enough to have back pain. I have no idea what the new thing is. I heard Skibbity Bop Rizzler Toilet Gaming sometime recently, and I have absolutely no idea what that means, but apparently that's what the kids are saying now, so. Making sure he doesn't overshoot. Give him a GG here. So, hopefully the enemy will tap out, and that'll be that. So, map control, definitely important. Seeing that even though, yes, we did lose all of our stuff over here, and the battleship went down, and our missile ship, I think, left the battlefield or exploded. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. The hefty taunt finally did get down by something. So, coming in clutch with the cap win for us. So, well played to you, Papa J. You get the shout out. I'm still kind of curious, like, just how many missile ships they had, because it felt like I got whacked by a whole lot of missile that I really didn't see coming. But, well, maybe next time I'll be able to get my heck peas on target and not hesitate like I did. If I see a cargo feeder like that, I should definitely fire all my missiles at it, since, well, making sure I get that kill knocks out a lot of the enemy's power. Watching as the, unfortunately, they don't have a radar panel in angle to see them, but they can still fire on a visual track. Just having a gunner look out the window kind of works for that. 970 points to 764 should be a quick mop up now, and then that'll be the game. Yeah. The mighty Eleanor here trying its best. Should only be another couple of seconds as we win. Yes, that is the Ocello that was somewhere. I wonder where that went. I think it was on the B point. The Girds here, who had the missile strike ship on our side. Unfortunately, a bunch of their missiles got seduced into a dead ship, which is unfortunate, but... One more tick here should be enough to seal us the game, and then we'll go on a 3-minute ad break and then be back with more Nebulous nonsense. Give him a GG. Yeah. Take a look at the post-game battle report then. 3, 2, 1, and we're out of here. So, you can see Girds here coming in with almost 20k damage dealt for a single ship with missiles, a bunch of size 2 hybrids and whatnot. You can see our friend here in the battleship only being able to do about 8,000 damage. I think they got hit by torpedoes and other nastiness. So, In our case, we really didn't do that much damage. We got jumped by 2 fleets and then heavily missile struck. Our missiles did manage to deal some things to the enemy, but again, unfortunately, we didn't. Yeah, a bunch of them missed by the looks of it, so that's unfortunate. I think these got spoofed by radar jamming, and then we just lost them from there. Although we did get some Heck B hits, as it turns out, so at least one of our ships got a good bop on the enemy, although I'm not sure how much. Yeah, only 350 damage, so I'm guessing we just got a bad angle. Oh well. Still, we do what we can. We can see Papa J coming in clutch here, 17k on one ship, and then almost, yeah, I call that like almost 30 to 35k, I think? I can't math. Hang on, go see it. Next sneeze. Anyways, enemy fleet doing quite well. We see a good chunk of the missile feeders here. Yeah, home on jam and semi-active homing, they had 108 of them, so just what we didn't want to see that game. So seeing they had another missile feeder as well as the 450 here with a couple more missiles. So a lot of size 2s. Torpedoes and size 2 missiles. So yeah, a lot of missiles on the enemy fleet. Like, I'm kind of surprised by that. I think all of them had it, right? Pretty well. Yeah, a bunch of them. So sadly, that does happen sometimes. But anyways, we're going to get another lobby up and 3-minute ad break. So we will be right back from that. Yeah, take the time to do what you have to do. 3 minutes. See you then. Yeah. Alrighty, chat, we are back. Thank you for being patient and waiting. We've got another lobby up. This time we're going on the map Arroya, which is one of my other favorites. I do quite like Tombstones because it's a very new map. I'll pin the message again there. So we've got the lobby up, so if anyone wants to join, now's your time. Sent out messages again saying, hey, we've got a game. Let's do some nebbing. So in this case, have to click the editor. Going to take a look at our fleet. I showcased this one a little bit earlier, but we're going to see it again now. So we have got ourselves some broadside bulk freighters here. Seeing the bulk freighter fire its broadside was quite pretty last game, so I felt like playing it. In this case, we're going for the 250mm variety. See, we've got on our ship here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guns. We've got some Grazer laser defense turrets on the top and bottom of the ship, presuming this thing is going to be facing sideways most of the game. We've got some flak turrets on the front side of it, providing hemisphere coverage for the top and bottom. It's not perfect. It is a little bit vulnerable from behind, but such is to be expected. Most ships are not very well protected from behind. That's generally the area you don't want to point at the enemy. So, in this case, though, just a healthy array of point defense. Looking through our various weapon systems, we do have some line ship decoys. In this case, take a look at these. These are a fake signature that we can pretend to be one of the actual bulk freighters that we have. So these are very handy for seducing enemy missile strikes or baiting them out of position or making them think that you're a lot stronger than you are. It's part of why I like the OSP. The decoy kind of baiting the enemy is very rewarding, especially when you see a huge missile strike go after a decoy and you know that for, I think it's like, how much are these worth actually? It's like 6 points. You know that you've heavily made the enemy heavily overinvest. That's what we're trying to say. So, got fire control radars on the back because these can actually turn around and point through the ship. An interesting feature of them, but hey, I don't question the science of radar returns. We got our little ship here, the Stew, with its mighty VLS size 1 launcher. In this case, just having a singular missile, so this thing is considered armed for contesting points. Yeah, that's basically the fleet, just 3 of the same, able to pump out a lot of devastating 250mm firepower at the 8-kilometer mark. We tried to get at the 6.5-kilometer mark, as that's when our fire control radar starts working. See, its max range is 6.5 kilometers here. So that's our ideal engagement range. Playing ANS 250 compared to OSP 250. OSP 250, generally, as soon as you see the enemy, you just kind of fire, and then you try and get to the 6.5-kilometer mark to get your locks. For ANS, it's also a bit of the same, but they can lock you out to 9 kilometers, even though gun range is 8. ANS, you have to stay between the 6.6 and 8-kilometer range, which is a interesting little Goldilocks zone. It's a bit difficult to do, and I've struggled with that recently, as we saw, where you can just kind of get surprise flanked by something, and then they get a lock on you, and, well, it's all over then. Also, when you're doing 250, you really want the enemy to be jammed or overwhelmed with firepower. In this case, we're going for a 3-fleet overwhelming firepower approach. So, all right. Let's get in some pings back here. Let's see if anyone else wants to have some. Let's see if anyone else shows up. Took a little bit of waiting last time, but that's a-okay with me. Neb games are pretty fun. You can get some of them over in about 20 minutes. Other ones go for the 40-50 minute range. So this is one fleet we could run. Alternatively, I could go with... I don't have any changes there. We could go with a fleet like, say, our broadside 250 fleet. This one makes use of the long-range radars that the OSP has. The Bloodhound here is able to reach out to 14 kilometers, and the early warning radar system is able to reach up to 18. So, in tandem, the Bloodhound is the very accurate radar that I put on the front of the ship, and the early warning radar search tracker here, that is a very wide cone that it projects. So, the idea is that I can detect the enemy with our early warning radar, and then bring our very accurate Bloodhound onto them, which allows us to bring our 2 ships of 450 millimeter casemate guns to bear. The idea being that these fire a big old broadside at whatever this sort of tug is pointed at. I like to run this fleet a lot. I've also invested a little bit into having some rocket shuttles to go along with it. Similar to the shuttles we saw before, they've got their little VLS on it, but they have a bank of 18 Piranha rockets, little unguided missiles that just go zoom, bang into the enemy, although they do miss if they're fired from their maximum range, because, well, when the enemy likes to move and you fire a unguided rocket on a fixed trajectory, it's not the most accurate system. So you have to get close with these. That said, these are very nasty to hide under a rock and surprise the enemy with when they try and get behind you. So, and just lastly, one more of the little capper ships. So, yeah. A couple options. We're just waiting for the lobby to fill up. Maybe I'll go with a different map than Arroya. Let's see, what else do I have? I have Haldit's Bluff, Salar, Styx, the Belt. We just played on Tombstones. Go for Yukon instead. Let's try loading up Yukon and see if that gets a couple more players in. I know sometimes people like a map or don't like a map. Some people insist only on playing Pillars, which is kind of the default multiplayer map. Other people very much like playing some custom maps. So we'll just see how it goes. There was a little bit of a wait last time, but so we can keep looking at our fleet editor. Wonder if there's anything else I really want to do here. Most of the fleets I built are stuff that I've kind of pre-prepared. Got a couple different ideas that I've been toying with. Had the idea of some of these, a pair of 250mm Acellos. So they've got, so the Acello is actually a ANS hull, but it was decommissioned and left over, so the OSP just kind of picked it up when they started their rebellion. You can see it's got these nice cannons here, the Mark 65. These are a medium weight cannon. They fire 250mm shells here, so these are a nice little way to pump out a bunch of 250 if you don't want to go the route of the bulk freighter. Although I think the bulk freighter might be just a little bit better at doing 250 fire. It entirely depends on circumstance and what you're facing. The Acello is quite good at forward-facing 250 because it can just kind of sit here and tank hits on the nose, whereas the bulk freighter is a bit more vulnerable. I named these the Mario, Luigi, and Toad because, well, we've just got the 250 brothers here, and then we've got the little ship. So I was like, I can call this thing Toad. That sounds cute. So I did. Actually, should update this thing. There we go. I can fit a weight seeker in these, as it turns out, and I can fit a bigger launcher. So we'll just go ahead and do that, like so. Getting rid of the old launcher. There we go. Already improved this fleet. Let's take a look then. We have a chaff launcher on the back of these, because I think I just didn't know what to put there otherwise. Would also improve these a bit, I think. Rapids, birthing. I could add on a gun plotting center to this, I think. That would be a good idea. Put a gun plotting center and get rid of those chaff boxes, because I don't think that we need them. Yes. I've got rebound point defense turrets. I don't know why I have those, actually. They're not exactly needed. So let's change this around a little bit more, shall we? So we'll put defender turrets on here, bullseyes on the back. We're a little bit short on crew, unfortunately, with the gun plotting center. That's troubling. Well, we don't need a gun plotting center. Maybe if we just go with a lot of damage control teams, it'll be okay. That looks a bit better. We'll fill up the magazine with some of the defender ammo. I haven't run these for a very long time, but it's fun putting together the idea. Words not failing me. Good, aren't. So, boosted reactors not being enough. We got, let's see, what don't we really need? A Scryer missile system, I don't believe that we need on this thing. So, let's just swap that out for another reactor. Then we get the bullseye on the back. I think an illuminator would do us well. Just to spot through the enemy's jamming. So let's try that. Actually, we'll flip those around. Illuminator on the bottom and the bullseye on the back slot where it's protected, since it can shoot through our ship. There we go. That sorts out a bunch of things almost nicely. We just need to get rid of one of these rapid lockers, I think, like so. There we go. I could also drop this down a little bit more to try and get a damage control central, which would improve our other teams. You know, I think I might just do that. Yeah. We'll go like so. There we are. Nice little point breakdown. Let's mimic it for the Luigi, since I think that these are more or less the same. This one has a spyglass radar. That's the slight difference. Using this so I can spot enemies from afar, but I don't actually think that I necessarily need a spyglass. It is cheaper than the parallax, so I think we'll keep it for now. Has a adaptive radar receiver to try and better see the enemy in case they decide to jam us. We'll just change around our systems like we saw it before. So giving this the old, where did it go? Still just waiting on players to fill up the lobby, so we're going to do editor side things. Got a illuminator on the bottom, and then the bullseye for air control radar lock there. On the front, we're going to put those defender turrets on the top and bottom, giving good hemisphere coverage. Get rid of the flak ammo since we don't need it. And then just fill up a bunch of kinetic slugs so we can shoot down incoming missiles. Yeah. Alright, we are still, again, low on power, so I think the adaptive radar receiver might have to go, unless we can take something else out. We do want all these ammo elevators, since they improve our fire rate. I could upgrade it to a slightly bigger engine. Ooh, let's try that. Unfortunately, still not quite enough. So we'll have to bid farewell to the adaptive radar receiver then. And in its place, put a reactor. I think that's the right reactor. Yes, micro reactor and a micro reactor. Yep. So it says we have again not enough crew, so bid farewell and adieu to the rapid DC lockers up front and go with that damage control central. This buffing our other teams a lot, so liking it. We could go with whiplash drives, which I'm not completely against, actually. Going fast is a good thing. Could also go with a radar drive, getting us that extra linear thrust. That extra linear thrust is kind of tempting. And it doesn't nerf our turn and angular thrust. So let's go with big radar drive and see how that goes, giving us the maneuverability to quickly turn around and strafe and stuff. Yeah, kind of like this idea, actually. So we are a couple points short here, so we would be able to probably invest in another parallax radar system. We don't really care about stuff beyond the radar ranges here, and we have other ships that can provide our radar locks, so we'll just go with this for now. I think that a bit more ammo couldn't hurt, so maybe we'll pack in some of that. Oh. Seeing that looks pretty good there, I think we'll just take one chaff off of this, and then call that a good fleet. Yeah. So we've got illuminators. Even though we don't have any illumination missiles, we can still illuminate the enemy, which provides us a better radar return. So if the enemy tries jamming us, we might be able to punch through it using our jammers. So we are using our illuminators to try and flood past their stuff. Getting a stronger return signal than their jamming is how you counter that. So, pretty happy with that. I'm going to save. Lobby's not filling up, which suggests to me there might be another game up. Let's go take a look. If not, we'll just head back. Ooh, yes, there is a game on Pillars. So we'll just join in on that then. I'll just unpin the message here. So in this case, we're going to go for that little 250 fleet that we just put together. I haven't run these for a while, so we're going to see how they go. Yeah. Just waiting for the last of the lobby to fill up. We're seeing a couple of different names here. I think I've played against 7th Sea a couple times. So they're equal rank to me, meaning we have roughly equal experience, I think. Rank just being something you earn over time, kind of a way to show off, hey, I've been playing the game a lot. So, very nice to have. I normally don't run a pair of Ocellos. I find them to be, they're okay, but not the greatest. So, we're joined by Fleshy General and Spyro in the spectator slot, so. Alright. Got ourselves a nice little 4 versus 4 here, so we'll see how it goes. I kind of want to try the 250 fleet, although I'm not sure about it, if it's going to work or not. Maybe going one of these with 250 and one of them with 450 would be better. That way I've got a mixture of big guns and other stuff. They're voting to change the map to Nix's Eye, trying to get more players in. You know what? Yeah, okay, we can go for Nix's Eye. Got a Commodore now, so let's hope that we get a Commodore ourselves. Yeah. Alright. I think that, yeah, if we're going to go Nix's Eye, maybe going with a 250 fleet like this won't be for the best. 7C deciding not if I bring it back, drop it down to a 4v4. You know, yeah, let's change the map back to Pillars. Bamboozle him. The silliness. So, if we get this, then I think that 250 Ocellos will do just fine. Alright, I'm going to ready up then and say, let's go. So, we'll get one more good game of Neb in tonight. I might be able to play one more after this. So, hopefully a 3-game stream. I've got a thing I have to do at 8, so that's 8 my time, 8 p.m. Eastern. But, right. See the new player midshipman rank, so they're not quite filled out their fleet, but they'll get enough stuff there. They've probably got, interesting. Not sure how those are so expensive. They are very expensive for only having 3 ships. Wonder what they got in there. Oh well, we'll see. Let's see. So we've got a Ocello here with the Mark 66. So it's running the 450mm cannons. In our case, we're going for kind of a brawly style with the shorter range 250mm guns. So see, they have brought out, they brought out a nice little fleet here. So this is a sort of command ship, the Ocello, as the name would imply, with command cruiser. They've got 2 cargo feeder escorts. Looks good. Yeah. VLS-2 system. Interesting defenses. Yeah. Well. All right. Nukes aren't real. So there is a nuke mod for the game, which is very balanced, totally. There's a reason that they don't have nuclear warheads in the game, because it just makes it super unfun, because either they just don't work at all, and then you've wasted a whole bunch of points, or they do work, and then there's no more fleets left on the map. So, Alright. Interesting. They've got a rocket shuttle added there. So. In this case, they're talking about just adding a little shuttle like we have here. But see, Fleshy just kind of editing live here. But hopefully we'll get the game underway pretty soon. Just seeing the new players figuring out their stuff. Neb is a interesting game to learn. Bit of a learning plateau to get through first, but the community is generally pretty helpful and welcoming. So I say generally because, as is the case with every gaming community, you're going to have some people who want to spoil the fun for stuff, but oh well. We'll just wait for our midshipmen to get their stuff together and then go for a bit of pew pew pew. Happily wiggling myself back and forth. I have got some M&Ms that I'm going to eat now. Not just any M&Ms, they're peanut M&Ms too. Probably toying around the last bit of it. I know I've spent an ungodly amount of hours in the fleet editor myself, and I can understand how it feels. So, see them 347. I think we can just hand wave the 47-point diff. It should be all right. They still got a gun there. Yeah. Doesn't really matter. 47-point difference. They try and keep everything even at 3,000 points, but if you're new and you go a little bit over, generally people are lenient enough, so it's okay. Alright, so loading into some good old Pillars Dust 2 gaming. Probably played Pillars at least 100 times now, but it's an enjoyable enough map. I won't call it a bad map. I'll just say that it is probably the most played, which kind of makes it a little bit overplayed, and I enjoy a bit of variety of maps, keeping things fresh. Either way. Loading in now, we'll just see where we want to deploy. So, we're going for that nice little 250mm Brawl Fleet range, which is 8 kilometers or so around our ships. We're just going to kind of see what the enemy brings to bear. We have very good point defense between our SLOs, so shouldn't be too hard for us to get something done. I kind of want to go around the outside on D and try and push into that range there and get brawling. But I could also deploy onto the B point and try and swing from there. Not sure. Right. I think that let's do the E to D point push, or we could be sneaky. You know what? I think we're going to be sneaky. So we're going to flip the map over like this, and we're going to deploy on the underside like this and see what we can do from there. Because I'm hoping I can just go over here and then surprise them, because normally people don't take this route. All right. Also going to send our little scout ship along as well. The idea is that normally we just send this off to cap the A point, but I think that we'll be punished too much for that. So we'll just have that as sort of our lead guard ahead of our ships, scouting the underside. It's not uncommon for the ANS to send over a fleet of light cruisers or beam ships here if they know what they're doing, because, again, most people don't take the underside route, so it's a good place to get flankers like that. I'm betting that our enemy might do it, though, so that's why I'm trying to be sneaky myself and counteract them. A little bit of the old fourth-dimensional chess of trying to plan what your enemy's going to do, and then they plan what you'll do, and then they... Well, it's kind of the whole go-around angle of, like, I'm going to do this, you're going to do that. I've countered you doing this ahead of time. You countered me doing that ahead of time. So it all just gets overly complicated, and then you end up with an egg on your face when they don't do any of that because they just want to go around an entirely different angle. See ourselves getting the B points and E points with a couple ships here, the Bad Kids 1 and 2. See I'm not sure what the Styx fleet is, but Couple fleets going around the outside here as well. So this should be a fun brawl for us. On the lower side of the map, usually we get close range combat, and I'm hoping that somebody else will drop down here too. See a bit of thruster flare over there. 2 big flares, so you can call that out. Probably a pair of Axford heavy cruisers, if I had to guess.
Copy that.
Quickly issue some orders here and then go from there. 2 big flares C. Suspect Axford CH duo. Just gonna call that out. Anyways, gonna set the Mario and Luigi on their merry route. Gonna pair the 2 of them together so I can quickly issue fire issue fire orders if need be. Set them around here like so.
Aye, aye, Commander. Moving out.
Actually, I can just send them over the top. There we are. Yeah. And they can go that way.
We're underway, Commander.
Now we will have our shuttle just kind of go this way. We're trying to get over towards the D point and come from the underside where we won't be expected. At least that's the plan. Get a bit more of a direct route than that. There we go.
Aye, aye, Commander. Moving out.
Moving at great speed, as it were. It might actually get me seen, so I might want to tuck that a little close with the rock. There we are. So we see them getting the C point up top very quickly. We've got one of our shuttles here, just a kind of naked ship going for a scouting run. Trying to zoom by, see what they have. Bit of a sacrificial investment on our part, but should be worth it. The plump Mojo here with its same kind of loadout we had before. Early warning radar and the big old bloodhound on it. Able to see what the enemy is up to, ideally. Yep, so we're getting some scouting info here. At this range, that's probably a heavy cruiser, just given the size that we'd have to pick up. So the size of the ship does matter for radar and all that, because, you know, bigger target, easier to spot. See a electronic warfare ship going with this pair of, ooh, these are plasma guns. Interesting. So those are very good at stripping off armor. And then the counterpart here being a whole bunch of the T-30 100mm turrets. So these are very good against low armor targets, which the plasma liner over here will be able to generate because it strips off the enemy's plating. Ooh, what do we have here? Hello. Okay, that's interesting.
Affirmative.
Dialing in.
Cool. Fire
Order
for
received.
effect, I
Engaging
guess.
now.
That's interesting. I did not expect to see them
What
so
can we
soon.
do for
And
you,
we are
Commander?
horribly angled.
Moving
Okay,
out,
so we're just gonna chill for a second here now. So I'm assuming that those are not friendly, given that they are, well, obviously not.
Order received.
Switch to
Engaging
high
now.
explosive. Trying to kill these real quick. Bam, bam, bam.
Receiving.
So you can see
Understood.
ourselves
We're en
orienting
route.
as best we can.
Commander, the
Guys
enemy
coming
has
about.
locked onto us.
Uh-oh. So we've got a bunch of frigates
Receiving.
here, so this should be interesting. I'm going to preemptively order a illuminator
Understood.
fired on them. This Reigns is taking a good hit
Got you
for
5 by
12.
5.
Bunch of little frigates coming on around. Gonna order splitting of fire here, so we get 2 targets hit. Gonna move about like so. Alright, we're going to order the illuminators firing like so.
Get it done.
There we are.
Attempting target.
We're going to
lock.
fire
Target
through their
acquired.
jamming like we have here.
Got you 5 by 5.
Understood. We're en route.
This guy's trying to get around to the side here so that we aren't caught in their jammers. Very nice.
We're ready when you are,
The ship's been
Commander.
damaged.
Order you to angle yourself as well.
Go ahead,
Taking
Commander.
a little bit of damage, but mostly able to shrug
We're
this
ready
off.
when you are, Commander.
Gotta close just a
Moving
titch
out,
because we are
Commander.
winning the fight. Seeing all of our 250 flying into them now. We overpowered them,
ready
so
when
we're
you
gonna
are,
try and
Commander.
push up as
We're
well,
on our
getting
way.
our aggressive side out.
At the ready, Commander. On the way,
Split them
Commander.
off here, just so we can make sure we get
The
the
ship's
best
aye,
possible
aye.
angle.
Understood. Moving out, Commander.
There we go. Bam, 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 bam. The kickstock, not long for this world, I don't think.
Send your traffic.
Oop, we did lose the berthing and a Aurora turret, which we will probably want, but we're going to hold off on repairing for right now, since it is
Aye, aye,
non-essential,
Commander. We're at the ready,
although
Commander.
we will want to fix it. Just going to wait until we get a
Go
better
ahead, Commander.
firing angle. We go up,
On the
which in
way,
this case is
Commander.
going down. So
Moving out, Commander.
interesting three-dimensional motions.
full burn.
Copy that. Moving.
Thoroughly pounding this one here. It's got a bit of point defense, but not for long. I'm surprised it's not dead yet, honestly, because we have hit this thing very hard.
How can we help today, Commander?
Receiving.
Go ahead, Command.
In order you to change targets as you go after
Standing
this
by.
one. So this is a gun frigate swarm, which is annoying, but we can counter it to a degree. Gonna fly right through them just so that we bother them with our proximity, and we cannot be jammed that way.
Receiving.
We turn off our illuminators since we don't need them.
5.
Actually, I already turned those off. That's fine.
Aye, Commander.
Adjusting our
Copy
angles
that,
like so.
Commander.
Aye.
Let's get that Aurora defense turret fixed.
Gotcha, 5
You see them trying to jam us here and not really succeeding. I don't know which one of them has a jammer, but I guess that one. So,
We're under fire.
bam, 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 bam. Are you quite dead yet?
Component disabled.
All right.
Awaiting
You
orders.
see our
Commander.
shuttle here taking a couple hits, but again, we are harassing them up close, so it means they're not hitting our other combat ships.
Aye, Commander. Moving out. Receiving.
Component breached.
Moving out, Commander.
Component destroyed.
Aye, Commander.
They are trying to take down our shuttle here, which they're succeeding at, but again, this is
Go ahead,
costing
Command.
them opportunities.
Awaiting orders.
Command
Let's
link
see.
reconnected.
Is this thing dead
Commander,
yet?
the enemy has locked onto us.
All right, well, the enemy is deciding to be a butt, so we're just going to fire on what we got.
What can we do for you, Commander?
In this case,
We're on
a
our
frigate
way.
swarm is a annoying enemy, but they don't have anything they can really threaten us with. So we're just going to proceed to push them off of the underside here and then go after whatever is left. So, I'm going to play dead with my ship here.
What can we do for you, Commander?
Incoming.
Fortunately, we're going to lose a player, so
Components restored.
Receiving.
let's see.
How can we help today, Commander?
Going to order the illuminators fired on this. Hopefully we can get a
Get
lock.
it
There
done,
we are.
Commander.
How can we help today, Commander?
Copy.
So we are down a
Opening
player,
fire.
but we're also winning our fight here, so it should be pretty even, I
We're
think.
ready when you are, Commander. We're on our way.
Kind of going this way. Chasing them down. This one is not under command, but it's also not dead yet. Rather annoying. Going bam, 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 bam into him. Gun frigate swarms are kind of annoying to deal with, but at the same time, we are getting some kills. See, that one is now dead. I just changed my target over, like so.
Initiating attack.
Which one of you is
Awaiting
still
orders,
alive?
Commander. Target lock initiated.
Dialing in. Take him out.
Go on you, then?
Aye.
Yeah.
Copy that, Commander.
Get some pretty good fire done here. This one, not long for the world either. We thinned out, I think, half of their fleet or so.
Standing by.
Finishing off this one here. Should take only a second to see the space oil come out. Bam, 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 bam. See the side of this thing really torn up. We're just barely missing the central command slot for this, I think. It should blow up in a moment.
At the
Come
ready,
on.
Commander.
What can we do for you, Commander?
These are deceptively tough, given the amount of firepower I'm throwing at them. It's also
What
not
can
helping
we
that
do
my
for you,
team is
Commander?
apparently missing.
We're
I
underway.
cancel the illuminator fire order since we don't need it anymore. Oop, that was the wrong fire order.
Beginning the attack.
We're going to orient ourselves
Understood.
facing downwards now, so
Aye,
we're
aye.
ready to come around here.
Aye, Commander. We're moving.
That.
Moving out, Commander.
Then we're going to send the mighty Toad this way to see what's
We're
up.
moving.
Now that we have successfully bamboozled them into thinking it was dead. Aha. Seriously, why have you not... Ah, there we go.
We're ready when
Now
you
you're
are,
dead.
Commander.
Excellent.
Dialing in, Commander.
Fire on you. I am surprised at how long it has taken to kill these. That or I'm just not seeing the space oil. There should be space oil any second now. Yep, there we go.
Traffic.
Gonna order the ceasing
We're
of
ready when you
fire
are,
since we heard the
Commander.
alarm
Ready,
sounding there,
Commander.
which signals evacuation. So, enemy fleet is
Send
down.
it. Send it.
See, they are coming up around here-ish, so we're
Roger
gonna just
that.
pre-orient ourselves to
Aye,
face
aye,
them.
Commander. Dialing in, Commander.
Go ahead, Command. It'll be done, Commander.
Channels
Setting
open.
best speed here.
Full
We have
impact.
successfully
Aye, aye,
baited them
starting our burn.
by moving around like this.
Component breached.
So they're trying to fire some rounds,
Roger,
but
5
they're
by
about to
5.
catch a whole bunch of hands from our main fleet. We
Component
come around here.
breached.
Affirmative.
Hello, I
Aye,
see
aye.
you are shooting at my ship. Please stop that,
Moving
you.
out.
Component
Now we
disabled.
witness the firepower. Bam, bam, bam. This is the handy thing about armored warships like this. Very good with the 250 at punching down against this kind of fleet. This was exactly the fight I was looking for, even though I didn't really expect it to be frigates. So, lightly armored warships, not able to withstand the amount
What
of
can
punch
do
that
for
we
you,
got,
Commander?
is great for us. We're going to cancel
Aye,
our
aye,
flank
Commander.
speed because it
Moving
does
out.
do damage to us otherwise.
Aye, Commander. We're
Just gotta
moving.
keep going around the rocks, as it were. Going about the
Moving out.
outside. So unfortunately here, the well, stuff is needing to be fixed. So we'll just bring the ship more or less back online in a second.
How can we help today, Commander?
You know. So now I have to look at gonna mark those as dead because otherwise they're gonna distract me. Those are just life pods flying away. So taking a look at the outside of the map now, you can see that we have gotten a healthy amount of the enemy killed. So we're coming up the backside now, probably in position to flank a bunch of their stuff. See the moral failing and the value judgment, some of the starter Axfords, they're getting shredded pretty well. Got a pair of, these look like some voxels over here with a lot of missiles. Okay.
What can we do for you,
Interesting.
Commander?
I might engage on those in a bit. At the same time, going for points could be good. See how you
Send
want.
it.
Once this ship comes online, we're going to send you out to capture the D point, and then we'll go from there. Yeah. Gotta get up here like that. And then onto the point.
Engines disabled. Cannot maneuver.
Oop. They'll fix themselves in a second.
Aye, aye.
And now that we got the CIC up, we're going to fix that
Standing by.
and go from here.
Understood. We're en route.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Now, I don't know where that remainder of the fleet went, but still, we see the enemy has one dead fleet. Ah, okay. A Solomon battleship. We're going to have to mark that as priority for our team to take down because I can't scratch it otherwise. I can provide target lock and harass it, but that's really the best I can do against something of that magnitude. Okay, seeing a frigate up here, or down here, depending on your perspective. Flipping around the camera, making me a little bit
Send your
dizzy, but
traffic.
still. Let's take a look-see at what we can actually fight. So 250mm is a good caliber because it does a bunch of damage, but unfortunately it is lacking
Standing by.
against the heavy armors of battleships and the
Affirmative.
other
Drive power
capitals.
restored.
So
Roger that.
see the mighty Toad here getting itself back in order as it kicks its engines back on, going for that D point like we said.
Receiving.
He's trying to maneuver up here and find those frigates that we spotted a second ago.
Attempting
we
target
go.
lock.
Locking onto them. Move up like this, and then over across to cover the Toad.
Moving out.
Get a lock any second now as we come around the rock.
Back online.
Affirmative.
There we go. So, the son of Christina, you're
Send
not long
traffic.
for this world.
Standing by.
Toad as well, making its best
Gotcha.
speed.
5
I'm going to
by
order
5.
flank speed, actually, because I want to get into a fight with some stuffs. Yes.
Moving out.
You don't
Commander.
need to be flank speed because you already have a target, but I want to see where the other ones went.
Standing by.
Yes, and adjust
Aye,
your
aye.
heading, of course. Hey, bam, 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 bam. Yep, right into the backside here. So we're going to order that one is killed, since I believe, yep, that is space oil, meaning it is in fact dead. So take a look, see. Yep, you can see the D point there being our point
Copy
of
that,
contention.
Commander.
Try and lock onto actually you, because you're the best chance we have of hitting a target.
Acknowledged.
Now we're going to order you to flank speed to get up above this rock and fire on them. We have to be
Aye,
aware there's a
Commander.
battleship
Gotcha,
about,
5 by
which we
5.
cannot really do anything about. But
Go ahead, Command. Aye, aye.
just the course and heading as best we can. All right, so
Standing by.
since the D point should be pretty easy for us to get, we're just going to maneuver the Toad over to the A
On it.
point instead, since that is a bit more out of our way, and we don't want to send too many of our ships out away from the
Course
enemy.
laid in. Go ahead, Command.
There we are. So, oh, you need to continue your motion
that.
forwards
Moving.
to the D point. That is our
Moving out.
objective.
Orders.
Understood. We're en route.
That's a little bit high up, actually. I want to set myself just a titch lower. There we go.
Moving
And now,
out, Commander.
with that, we're going to go and see what there is over here. And angle
Aye,
myself slightly because
Commander.
I'm certain that there's enemies around
Opening
somewhere.
fire.
Dialing in.
And order the guns to preemptively aim like so. Yep, that should be the battleship up there, I think. Somewhere. Not sure actually where the battleship is. Oh, that's just a chaff cloud, rather.
Receiving.
right. Anyway, I think we are good to go straight for the D point now.
Moving out, Commander.
You know, burning our engines a bit here.
Aye, aye, Commander. We're
The
moving.
enemy has engaged. Awaiting
Get them
orders,
firing
Commander.
back at us with something, but not really seeing much. Ah, they're trying to shoot us. Yeah. Frigate, unfortunately, not the choice vessel against a pair of Acellos like this. We're going pew, pew,
Awaiting
pew, pew,
orders,
pew.
Commander.
At the ready, Commander. Commander.
should be in range any second now. Let's order this one to go a little bit farther forwards and then onto the point.
Aye, aye. Full
That
power.
way it can use its big thrusters as best it can. Watching them now. Yep, they've got a angle, so we are good. There's one
Aye, aye,
ship
Commander.
unaccounted for, though, which concerns me. So
Awaiting orders, Commander.
just have to deal with that as it comes.
Standing by.
In this case, the enemy ship is destroyed, so we're going to mark it as such and cease fire on it.
Center traffic.
Have to clear the various firing orders since we don't want to overkill it. Now to find out where the remainder of the enemy force is. That battleship is still about, which is not good.
Copy
So
that, Commander.
I'm certain that there is one last enemy ship around, but I don't know where it is,
Aye, aye.
which concerns
Full
me.
power.
So we're just going to grab what we
Moving out,
can here and
Commander.
then try and play the objectives.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Command.
You can see our little shuttles here able to get around the
Missile
backside and
detected.
cap things.
Center
Oop.
traffic.
We got a missile. Where? Roving missiles. All right, interesting. So we probably won't be able to deal
What
much
can we do for
to
you,
that
Commander?
battleship, but at the very least we could provide a lock. So I'll
Initiating target
preemptively
lock.
tell them to
Cannot
load
comply,
AP rounds
Commander. Target is out of range.
and lock it as
Zeroing
well.
in.
There we go. So again, we won't be able to do anything against it with
Aye,
our
aye.
250 unless we hit the broadside,
Copy
which
that, Commander.
we might be able to. The 450 millimeter
Got you
guns,
5
rather.
by
A
5.
450 meter gun would be a bit big, being quite a threat to us. So, okay, so here we're just going to cap the point and then
Moving
move
out.
from there. Ordering one of my ships already
Aye,
to
aye,
go
Commander.
ahead.
Moving out.
Not sure how they see us right now. I'm going to order a burn through
Copy
sweep
that,
to try and find whatever is still around. You can see those voxels over here being rather annoying.
We're
So
reading you.
ideally, I'll go and punch
Everyone
those,
else
but I'm not
ready,
sure how to
Commander.
get the best angle on them.
Roger that.
In this case, we're going to just move out of the side.
Center
Let's
traffic.
see. What do you got? Ah, there we are. Okay, so now we know where the enemy
Center
is.
traffic.
All right, so we're going to just split up our fleet then. We're going to send one of you to go and punch down the remainder there.
On the way, Commander.
I'm going to say on it for those. This is why callouts are important, because I couldn't actually see those at first.
Standing by.
Now we are getting some
At
very
the
good
ready,
shots
Commander.
into that battleship over there as well, so we're going to adjust our heading ever so slightly.
Acknowledged.
Like so, and
Aye,
so.
aye, Commander.
So, again, battleships have a lot of armor, which we're not able to punch through very well with 250, but they've also been peppered fairly heavily, so a couple good shots might get through. See them thoroughly singed from what I'd presume to be plasma. Maybe a reactor bloomed somewhere.
At the ready, Commander.
Either way, firing
Ready
what
when
we
you
got.
are, Commander.
Bam, 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 bam. Trying to zoom in here and figure out where they are best going.
We'll get it done,
There we are.
Commander.
Aye, aye.
Unfortunately, this ship here bit it, so we lost visual on the enemies we were trying to hunt down. But they should be around shortly. Getting good hits onto the hardy peel here, so let's see if we can't peel it ourselves.
Standing by. Missile detected.
I do enjoy running pairs of heavy cruisers or command cruisers like this, although I think that it is better to pick a more varied and versatile fleet. Just kind of keeps your options open. All right, I'm seeing a bit of masking issue here, so we're going to
Acknowledged.
adjust our heading again
Missile
slightly.
detected.
'Cause otherwise, our guns apparently can't fire. Just kind of
Go
the
ahead,
nose of the Ocello. Sometimes this forward gun gets blocked by it. I do wish they would raise it ever so slightly, but that's just a little quality of life thing that will come through eventually. Maybe raise the back one as well to go with it. So we see the battleship here again, thoroughly singed, but we are putting some more AP rounds, weakening the armor plating as they go
Awaiting
through.
orders,
So
Commander.
Center traffic.
there we are.
Sensors are jammed.
Aha. Nice try, buddy. I see you.
Understood.
Illuminate and
Fire
eliminate.
incoming.
Fire.
Order received. Engaging now.
Gonna put rounds where
Understood.
I can with
Engaging.
this, and
Moving
hope
out.
for the best.
Standing by.
Order the illuminator fired in this general vicinity
Copy
so
that,
we can see.
Commander.
Like that.
Attempting target lock. We're on our way.
There we are.
Aye, aye. Full power. Take him out.
Fire.
Aye, aye.
Gonna burn through and see if I can't spot the other one as well.
Acknowledged.
Illuminate. There should be two of them. There's the other one.
Dialing in. On the way, Commander.
Aye, aye, Commander. Moving out. Standing
See it
by.
trying to
Got
get
you
behind the
5
rock
by
there.
5.
Not going to let that happen.
Moving out.
You are free to engage.
Zeroing in.
Fire everything.
Awaiting orders, Commander.
We're really doing a good job of punching down in this
Standing
case.
by.
250, quite good for that, but there's still the matter of the battleship that we have to deal with, which we're going to try and pinch
Underway
here.
out today, Commander.
Any luck, I will kill this thing's engines before it's able to run away.
Go ahead, Command.
Try and just maneuver forwards
Aye,
like
aye,
so.
Commander. We're moving.
Our turret's kind of starting to get
Taking
masked,
shots.
so
Aye,
we'll
aye,
adjust our
Commander.
angle once more. Battleship, for whatever reason, not
We're
shooting at
ready
us.
when you
Very
are,
nice to have.
Commander.
At least for us, anyways.
Understood. We're
Oop.
en
You
route.
see the Toad here getting absolutely shredded by those
Got you
RPF
5 by
rounds.
5.
Trying our best to kill off their
Standing
remaining
by.
little ships, and then we can just fight for the big stuff.
Send your traffic.
Luigi kind of coming around as it can.
Aye, aye.
Point the
Full
Luigi's
power.
nose pretty much straight
Aye,
down.
aye.
And see if we can't get a kill shot here in the back thrusters. Come on, hit him. Only one gun, unfortunately, able to fire right now is, again, hole masking issue.
Copy that. Moving.
Keep on him. Don't let him get around.
For you, Commander.
Alright, so you are there. We're going to
Dialing
fire
in,
AP on
Commander.
you because, well, we
Target
can.
acquired.
Actually,
Attempting target
there's a good
lock.
target there. Let's go on that instead. Yeah.
We're underway, Commander.
We can do much better against the,
Attempting target lock.
what are they called?
Standing
The
by.
light cruisers than we can against the mighty
At the ready,
battleship. So,
Commander.
here we are. Seeing this thing, unfortunately, now getting bopped a lot.
Got you 5 by
And
5.
maneuver about.
Aye, aye. Full power.
And cancel the flank order since we are in position now to kill this thing. Though we are losing a cap point. Still, enemy ship is disabled, and we're going to really just pound it until it blows up,
Go ahead,
which it
Command.
appears to be now. Excellent. Yeah. Order it ceasing fire, and then we're going to find ourselves a new target.
Copy that. Moving.
Probably rejoining the fleet here as
Commander.
things are about to get a little bit spicy. Yes. Battleship
Aye, aye,
has
Commander.
decided that now is the time it wants to fight us, so we're going to
Aye, aye,
quickly
Commander.
burn our way out of that,
How can we help today, Commander?
and then
Acquiring
try our
fires.
best
Missile
to put some
detected.
pain into it.
Awaiting orders, Commander.
A couple of missiles coming our way, but that shouldn't be a problem for us.
Target lock component
Zeroing
lost.
in.
There we go. Seeing we are losing a bit of stuff. Unfortunately, we lost another point defense turret,
Send
but
your traffic.
hopefully no more missiles come our way.
Got you 5 by 5. Roger that.
Warning. Module lost. What can we do for you, Commander?
Okay. Taking a look around.
What can
So
do
we
for
see
you,
they are
Commander?
unfortunately getting behind us, so we'll have to quickly
Aye, aye,
burn over here.
destroyed. Moving out.
Best we can.
On the
Fighting a
way,
battleship
Commander.
was not on my planned to-do list today, so we're going to orient to shoot these
Understood.
ones instead and just try and get out of here.
Moving
Burn
out,
it.
Commander.
Burn.
Internal damage detected.
Aye, aye, Commander. Dialing in. Getting
They're
along.
just out of range, so we'll have to go with what we got.
On the way, Commander.
Luckily, that reactor bloom hiding us for a second at least. We have to adjust heading and
Of
try and
course,
get to the C point here.
Understood.
This should be
Moving now.
interesting, to say the least.
We're on our way. Awaiting orders.
Come on, fire what you got. Hoping
We're
that
ready,
these are
Commander.
actually facing us broadside, so we'll try and use
Initiated
HE.
lock on us.
Go ahead, Command.
And turn off that illuminator as
Go
well,
ahead,
since we don't
Command.
need it anymore.
The enemy is securing zone common.
Let's see, are they facing us? Yes, no, maybe so. They would appear to
We're
be,
ready
so
when
I'm
you
going to
are,
continue using
Commander.
AP rounds
Understood. Engaging the enemy.
and maneuver backwards like this.
Aye, aye, Commander. Moving out.
Trying to reconnect our
Standing
fleet
by,
here. We're kind of
lost
pinched
module.
awkwardly as there's fleet ahead of us and fleet to our flank. So
Commander, component destroyed.
gotta really
Copy that.
cook the
We're en
thrusters
route.
here.
The module was destroyed. Standing by.
Yeah, getting caught
Commander.
broadside is less than ideal for us. I think we'll have to try and just set heading straight aheads.
Copy that.
Eh,
Moving.
heading ahead,
Commander,
yes.
They're
Roger
aiming
that.
at us.
Joining our fleet
On
up
the
like
way,
so.
Commander.
Trying to get a good angle.
Commander, a module was destroyed.
Acknowledged.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of hits coming in now, so we are suffering,
Standing
but
by,
still making
Commander.
it happen as best we can. Unfortunately, yeah,
Component
thruster
lost,
power very
Commander.
much coming in and not
How
liking
can
it.
we help today, Commander? Zeroing in.
Fire on you for what time we
Component
got.
lost. Hear you, Commander.
We've ordered the ship to retreat, but we are heavily damaged, so we'll just have to sit on the D point and try our best from there. And yeah,
Traffic.
um,
Getting a lock.
can't decide which ones I want to try and shoot at. I think that just holding a point would be for our best interest right now, but I also do need to get another
Aye,
cap
aye,
point.
Commander.
Capping the E point won't work because that Solomon is too close by. And I think that I might be the last one. We're going to see if this tug can burn for the B point here. Uh-oh. We are losing quite a few things here. Rather annoyingly.
Yes, Commander.
Yes.
Commander, we lost
Got you
the
5 by
module.
5.
So, fortunately here,
lost.
pinned between two enemies is not where you want to be.
Locking on.
In order you to, again, go
Moving
forwards
out.
a little bit and then down. Yeah.
On the way, Commander.
Bam, 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 bam.
We'll make it happen.
Be able to tank a couple hits, but again, the reactors and stuff taking heavy damage here. Luckily, those are only needed for point defense turrets, and I don't think they have any missiles left. So, we'll just fire off with whatever we got.
How can we help today, Commander?
They destroyed our module.
I think this heading should be
Aye, aye.
pretty good. Try and keep yourself going down here towards the D point.
Moving out, Commander.
There we are. Order you as well to
Copy
rotate
that.
again.
Moving.
Warning. Low
So,
power. Send
yeah,
it,
we're probably going
Commander.
to lose the Mario here. Not much I can really do about that. Just firing all the guns I got. Oop, that blue might save us because I think the enemy will be blinded.
We've got
We need to
internal
fix
damage.
our reactors. Yeah, okay, this is not good. So unfortunately, we are heavily out of power on stuff here. The CIC is probably going to get knocked out. If I lose the CIC, then this
Got
ship
you
is,
5
in
by
fact,
5.
hard dead. So
Send your traffic.
less than ideal getting caught in that position, but might be able to win this still on
Aye,
points.
aye,
We have a
Commander.
slight
We're
lead
moving.
ahead of the enemy, but
They've got us
that can
dialed in.
go away very fast. I don't have a good answer to the battleship, but as long as I can keep them from firing on the ship here, should be good. Thing is going to take forever to get to the B point, but it might
Go
get
ahead,
in there in
Commander.
time.
Commander,
Ow, 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 ow.
taken too much damage.
Locking on.
All right, unfortunately, we get knocked out there, but such is life. Having to turn now to face that battleship.
Aye, aye.
Not liking the incoming fire. Ow, 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 ow.
Aye, aye, Commander. We're moving.
This is the problem when you get 2v1'd again. You can only face one direction to bow tank with.
Components been
I
lost.
should make that bow tanking tutorial, which I was
Locking up.
planning on doing. These AP rounds are annoying, but we can handle a couple
Aye,
of them.
aye.
So just do that real quick.
Moving out.
Burn the flank engines because we need to not be here because that battleship hurts a lot. They're still shooting our dead ship, which I am
we help
thankful
today,
for
Commander?
because otherwise we'd be taking a lot more fire here than we are. Firing broadside on what we got.
At the ready, Commander.
Voxels
Aye, aye.
are reasonably vulnerable
Gotcha,
to
5
the
by
250 AP rounds, which we can spew. So we're going to keep trying to do
Aye,
that,
aye.
keeping our heading facing roughly this direction. Provides a little bit of cover. Well, actually, it's probably giving them a better broadside here, but still, we're expecting ourselves to move into cover any second
Copy
now.
that. Moving.
Should block the,
Russian repairs.
what do you call it? The Solomon from CNS. Yep. It's knocking out our point defense turrets again, but we knew that was going to happen.
Getting a lock.
We'll lock onto this one ahead of us since it has now decided to move in. Gonna quickly
Copy that.
jank our
Coordinates received.
position here, trying to dodge fire. Gonna move it up and then down
way.
a bunch because that changes our heading.
Knocked out a module.
Should make some of those rounds
They
miss.
knocked out a module.
Actually, they have very good fire control, so they probably won't miss.
On the move.
We go bam, bam, bam with what we got.
Copy that.
We're gonna order these turrets to be priority
we're taking
fixed
damage.
because we do need guns. Ship
We're
without
losing
guns, not able to do
components.
much. Okay, we need the large locker repaired there.
Out with it.
Just gotta try
Damage
and
control.
find
Lost component. Get us
cover.
moving.
Try and dive down as best we can now.
Get us out of
Break
here.
the enemy's line of fire on us.
Immediately.
They see the
We're
light
taking
cruisers
damage. Keep
heavy
firing.
fire on us.
We're
I think if
taking
we get
damage.
knocked out here, this will be the game, but we almost have held long enough to get a points lead. Really relying on that ship, which is not moving very fast,
Component
so
destroyed. Busy,
bit of a
Commander.
issue there, but
We're
still,
losing components.
just try and
Get
keep
us
going.
Moving.
come on, hit them.
Lock on.
Lock on with whatever you got and hit them. We are very much running out of bits and pieces here. Yes. Trying to turn the large locker on again so we can have more restores. Just keep the guns firing. I think our bottom turret is still working. Yes, it is. So
Out with damage control.
firing
We've
what
lost
you
a
got.
component. Get us moving.
criticals
Losing
being
components.
applied, but we're sort of holding on.
Damage control.
Sort of.
We've lost a component.
Battleships are not something to play around against, so...
Damage control.
Unfortunately, we've lost
component.
the magazine here, so we'll have to fix that in a second once... crap.
Component
Okay, we
destroyed.
are combat ineffective, unfortunately, and the mag is looking like it's going to cook off here. Yeah, so we've got 30 seconds to fix that, otherwise we're going to be a very big supernova, because all the ammo inside there is going to go kablooey. They appear to be capping the point, and we can't really contest that, can we? We might be out of the game here, unfortunately, so another close one.
Commander.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, we could take these on in a fair fight, but sadly, they did not choose to fight fair. The battleship over there, 3,000 points of nastiness bringing onto us. We did manage to fix the ship a little bit, but we don't have any way of fighting, so unfortunately, we're just going to have to try and survive as long as we can and hope for a back cap here. See the mighty Pulp and Mojo going for it. I don't think we will get it, though, since we're going to lose the D point here in a second. And I can't move up here to contest that, because otherwise the battleship will just kill me. Right. We're just going to try and survive here until we get that cap, and maybe we can squeak out enough points. Maybe. Yeah, you see the battleship was right there a second ago. Have to move around the rock. Turning off the flank thrusters, because we are taking all the damage. We're technically armed with the cannon, but unfortunately the magazine is out, and we have no way of repairing that, so that's bad for our extended survival. Okay. Just go around the rock and survive. I think I can get a cap win here, maybe. Oh, they are capping the 8 point instead. All right, that might just be it.
We're a bit busy, Commander.
We will see.
Quickly.
Yeah, they're gonna only have one cap. I think that might be GG unless I can really race for the E point here. So we're gonna try that.
Get us out of here.
Not like that. I'll try and half here. Math, half, something like that. And there we go, that'll work. Send it. I'm gonna keep the nose towards this area because flipping us back upside. We know that there's gonna be enemies on the D point, so we're just gonna try and burn our way towards the E point and go for that cap. Because maybe we can squeak out enough points. Oh no, they found our tug here, so I think that might be the game then. So yeah, as soon as they kill off this tug, then we don't have a way of getting enough points. Alright. Still, we'll see if they get it or not. Just kind of trying to cling to hope here and not say that this is lost, but it's not looking good for us either way. Yeah, I think that's where we'll go with GG and throw in the towel. Their teammates have surrendered, and I don't want to drag this out too far.
Abandoned ship.
We had a good run. We killed off a whole fleet of frigates, and then, unfortunately, we just got pinched between a light cruiser fleet on one side and a battleship on the other. Only able to really take on one fleet at a time. See the enemy, they tapped out there. Yep, so dealt with those pretty well. Yep, very good battleship. Almost 42k damage dealt. Yep, these light cruisers, they had a great day with a bunch of missile strikes and other gunplay, because they weren't hit with a whole bunch of size 2s like mine were last game. Let's see, we got pretty good damage dealt on these, yeah. That's about 42k across the fleet. I'm pretty happy with those. And then just the rest of the team kind of suffering, unfortunately, probably from missile strikes and big ol' battleship batteries. So, all right. Friend Doc Vivi is starting up her Nebulous thing. I'll kind of do this because she had to push back her start date for Neb for like 2 hours. So we're going to raid into her channel, and I might be able to join up with her and play some games there. So pass you off to her in a second. Mask.exe, thank you for the follow. I'm going to pass you all off to Vivi. She'll start up in a couple of minutes, so you can just go hang out there for more Nebulous content. Till then, I've been NekoboyBlue. Thanks for tuning in. Like, follow, all that stuff. Yeah, YouTuber, whatever, Twitch streamer, exiting thing. Anyways, I stream whatever, whenever. I'm Silly Catboy on the internet. This has been me and my cardboard command console. I'm passing you off to Vivi. Have a good day, y'all. Bye!